Terry's Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you on a venture with us. It's me, Junior, and Lyle. We are well, Junior's going to be sitting in the truck, but we're picking poke salad, y'all. It's everywhere. It is just everywhere. And I'll show you about picking it, and I'm going to be showing you about cooking it, and we're going to can it as well. So let's have some fun. But there is just poke salad all over this cutout. This is where they've clear cut. There's a massive patch down there. So less talking, more harvesting. First poke salad of the year, y'all. And I'm just taking the pocket knife and cutting the young poke salad at the ground. Don't waste no leaves, y'all. That stuff is precious. Now, some got bit by uh, the frost, so I'm not getting any ones that's been bit, which they're speckled and yellow. Sorry about my thumb being in the picture. And when they're this young, you can also eat the stems. And of course, it'll shoot more stems up. And you should be able to get at least, Grandma always done 3 harvests, but no more. Look at all that poke salad. Just got poke salad all over the place, y'all. Alright, I'm gonna get off here and I'm gonna get busy. Look at that beautiful, beautiful poke salad. Look at it all, y'all. Look at it. Poke weed, poke salad, all over the place. Yep, gonna be putting up a bunch of it, eating some of it too. Alright, I got a big old tub full, fixing to go dump it here in a bit. See you after a while. Back home, have 2 big tubs of poke salad greens. And this big sheet full. I see Junior left his Sprite out here. I'll take that out too. Yep, this big sheet full. I'm going to start washing the ones in the sheet because they were the ones picked fresh first. And well, they all picked fresh, but these were the first ones. I want to get them done before they start wilting, which is nice. They're not dirty. They just got some sand on them. Then there was a bonus, y'all. Look at those beautiful mullein leaves. Yep. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to wash them. I done been through and done a few. You want to go through, look for bad leaves that don't look good. It don't matter if the leaves are ripped, but if they don't look good and healthy, then I'm going to, see like that one? I ain't worried if bugs ate it, but that one just didn't look healthy. Thankfully, they're not dirty. They just have some, they're like washing greens. They have some sand on them. I'm going to be busy for a while. I'm going to cook them fairly whole in the beginning. And then when I get ready to can them up is when I'm going to go in and do the chopping. But see, this one has white spots on it. I'm taking that off. And yes, I'm cooking the stems as well. As long as the stems are young, you can eat them, yes. You just have to boil them real good, just like you do the greens. And the way I'm going to be canning them is you can them like spinach. I'm going to be pressure canning it. See, there's a bad looking leaf there. The young stems taste pretty much just like asparagus. And I got a lot of cleaning to do, cooking to do, and I'm looking forward to canning this up. And that way, in the winter, when I want to make either some poke salad dip or some poke salad and scrambled eggs, guess what? I reach for a pint jar. They're starting to go limp. I'm trying to beat it before they limp too much. Okay, I know I'm gonna be busy for a while because I've got to cook them. Since these are young, I'm gonna do them twice. If they were big and old ones, I would do 3 times. So I got to do that, and then I got the pressure canner ready to go. Cause for pint jars, wish I had quarts. Now this stem is a little bigger than I like. If I had quarts, I'd be doing it in quarts instead of pints, but I got pints to work with. And that's going to be 70 minutes of pressure canning for the pints. I'm waiting for that coffee to finish brewing. And see, after I get done boiling them and straining them, then I've got to, I'm going to chop them up then. I'm not going to chop them up now because they'll be a pain trying to strain. I got my big stock pot ready to go. Hold on a minute, let me grab my stock pot. I'm glad I paused it because I just kicked the daylights out of the tripod. And like I said, these are clean. Just gotta make sure the sand is off of them. And sand comes off easy in the water. Oh my God, there was so much poke salad, y'all. We didn't even really make a dent in it, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll get to make several harvests. It depends on how my jars hold out. Alright, I'm going to keep getting busy. I want to really pack this top pot full. Be right back. Okay, I got
Message from the dark side.
Alright, I have my first stock pot packed full of leaves. Now y'all, they are going to shrink down. Yes, I'm using water from the garden hose. Oh my God. Now before I start washing any more for the next batch, I gotta change my water because I can see all the sand in the bottom. Okay, I got 3/4 of the way up. And of course, once this water starts warming up, these greens, this poke salad is going to cook down big time. Alright, I'm going to put it on the stove. I'll bring y'all back once it starts to boil. It is starting to boil now. You can see how much it has shrank, and you see the foam. Skim that foam off about best you can. And now, since it's come up to a boil, I'm going to boil it for 30 minutes. You want to skim foam that comes up. No, it's not soap. It is not soap because you only wash your greens with water. Oh, it smells so good, y'all. It's been too long since I cooked poke greens or poke salad. Some people call it poke salad. Some people call it poke salad. S-A-L-A-T. But you want to make sure that you boil it for 30 minutes for the first boil. And like I told you, you can also make sure you stir that bottom all the way down. And of course, not everybody's going to make the batches that I do. That's perfectly fine. And you don't have to can it if you don't want to. You can also put them in baggies, freezer baggies, or freezer containers and freeze them. Canning just easier. And it keeps room in your deep freeze for meat. Alright, it's on the clock for 30 minutes. I'll bring you back when 30 minutes is up. Another thing I wanted to mention I forgot. Keep an eye on it. Stir it every so often, because it will try to float to the top. And like I said, keep skimming that foam off. Of course, it's better to use a solid spoon, but I got a slotted spoon at the moment. You work with what you got. Stir it every so often and cut that flame off at 30 minutes. Now, I'll bring y'all back, but throughout the 30 minutes, check on it regularly, stir it, skim foam. It's not hard to do, y'all. Okay, the first batch is done. I got the flame off. I like to use a strainer like scoop, because if there was any sand, which it shouldn't have been, but if there was, it's going to be in the very bottom of the pot. So I try not to stir the water much. And as you can see, it has shrank down. This is just like cooking greens, spinach. It shrinks down a whole lot. Oh, but it's not done cooking yet. I've still got another round of boiling it. And I'm putting it into a colander in a big bowl over here. So here in a minute, I'm going to set this in the sink, the colander in the sink, and let it strain out even more. I figure I've got probably 4 or 5 stock pots full to do. I've almost cleaned and got ready the and the sheet full. And once I get that finished up, then I start going through the tub. Oh, they smell so good, y'all. This is old ways heritage food. Like I said, you don't want to stir the water much at all if possible, but you don't want to leave nothing in that stock pot. And of course, it's going to cook down even more. When you boil it a second time, because you might not can see it, but you can see how dark that water is. Oh, it smells so good. And yes, I have recipes for using poke salad quiche. I don't know if I posted my poke salad dip yet. But you can see how much that cooked down. And of course, it's going to cook down even more on the second boil. Alright, that's that first batch. That's the first batch of boiling poke salad. I'm going to go pour this out in the yard and haul actually back down the driveway. Rinse the pan, the stock pot out really good and start round 2. And I will bring you back. I'm not working on this one. I'm going to get more started cooking because I want to get it done before it all wilts really bad. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'll bring you back when I start boil number 2. See y'all. Oops, y'all just blinded. See y'all here in a little bit. I am now starting on the second cooking of them. I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Now in this stock pot full, this is 2 batches of the first cooking of the greens. I ended up doing 5 of these stock pots full of poke salad greens. I'm going to fill my pot up some more. I'm going to bring this up to a simmer, and I'm going to simmer it for 20 to 30 minutes. It depends on the person. Now, on the first cooking, After they had boiled for 30 minutes, I scooped them out, strained them really good, and I rinsed them off so they drain even more. So I'm going to cook these for about 20 minutes, skim any foam that comes up and out, and I'm going to strain these. And once these are done cooking, these will be ready for canning. I'm going to cook the other 3 batches the same way, and once they're all done, then we're going to get busy. I'm gonna strain them all, of course, rinse them, and then I will bring you back when it's time to can them. I'm probably going to combine, well, I know I'm going to combine all of them together, let the bowl cool down, and then I'm going to bed. We're going to can these greens and these poke greens in the morning. And also make sure you stir that bottom real good. You don't want nothing to stick, because if they burn, that ruins your batch of greens. And I'm going to put some more water in here, because I'm going to fill it up about 3/4 of the water, well, a little more than 3/4. And let these babies cook. Long process, but worth every second. Alright, I will bring you back when we're ready to can them. See you later on in the morning. Alright, it's the next morning. I am on a roll to get these greens canned up, and then what doesn't fit into jars will be going into freezer baggies. This is cooked down. This is all of the poke greens. I did not waste any. If it could be cooked and was in good shape, it's in this bowl. This is 5 stock pots worth of cooked poke greens, and let me tell you, they smell so good. Now, they are not seasoned at the moment at all. And now you don't have to do this. I'm just going to chop them up into smaller pieces, because I put them in as whole leaves and stems. You do not have to do this, and you don't have to can them. But these have had the 2 cookings, and they are ready to go into some jars. I know the ancestors are smiling like crazy right now. I'm just mainly doing this to cut up the whole leaves and the stems to make smaller pieces. I am going for 19 pint jars is my goal. And whatever I have left, if I have any left, will be going into pint freezer bags. I'm telling y'all, it smells so good right now. I'm going to keep chopping until I get this bowl filled up really big, and I'll bring y'all back. Have my bowl filled up really nicely. I'm going to put this bowl, see, I didn't really make a dent in it at all. I'm going to put this bowl back into the fridge to keep it cool, And I'm going to get my area cleaned up and set up. And we're fixing to put these beautiful poke greens into some glass jars. And we're going to can them. I'll bring you back when I get everything set up. See you at the wall. Before we start canning, I want to acknowledge that I am a feral canner. I follow some rules of safe canning, but I can what me and my family, me and Junior, like to eat. So, with that being said, now you can choose to can this if you want to, or you can choose to freeze it or eat it fresh. But if you cook it to eat it fresh, you need to cook smaller batches so you can eat it within a couple of days. So, let's get busy canning, y'all. I've been waiting for this day for a while now. Now, like I said, I follow some rules. Everything is clean and sanitized. My jars are clean, my funnel, my spoon for the salt, this is my debubbler because it's a high heat chopstick. You can use a ball debubbler, whatever. Just don't use any metal at all. And I got my rings and my lids, and I have my little cloth with vinegar to wipe the rims of the jars. And I also have my little hot water carafe over here ready to go. Now it's warm water, not hot water, because, well, if I had a whole day to just work on the greens, I would have done it all in one day. But time constraints and other things happening, I had to do it over a couple of days, but it's getting done. So let's get busy. Now, you don't want to pack your jars too well, but you want to make sure you get enough of the poke greens in there, because a lot goes a little way. It's like canning chopped spinach. It takes a whole lot to get an amount going. And like I said, I'll be using my chopstick quite a bit. I don't want to heavily pack it in the jar, but I want to make sure that I have enough to do a recipe or for us to eat. You still want enough room to get a little bit of that water in there. And that's about 3/4 of the jar is how much poke I'm putting in there. And per each jar, just to be on the safe side, I am adding a half a teaspoon of the pink Himalayan salt. You can use kosher salt. You can use canning salt. Alright, there's too many greens in there. So what you do, you just take a spoon, scoop them out, because you want room in there for enough fluid so that they can bubble around. And if you use a metal spoon like this, be very careful. Do not clink or hit the sides of the jar. Alright, we're going to try this again. I'm going to put just a little bit extra salt in this one. You want enough water in there so it can boil and move around. Because if you pack your greens in there too tightly, It will cause your jars to siphon. And you do not want your jars to siphon. Okay, you want a 1-inch headspace. You want to make sure that there's no bubbles, that those greens can move around well. We'll go over to the next jar. And each time you wipe your rim, make sure you move the next spot on your little paper towel, napkin, cloth, whichever you use. Alright, we're going to do one more. Like I said, you don't want to pack your jar too hefty, because you want to have room for the water and the greens to roll around in the jar. It is a must to make sure that you get the bubbles out. Make sure that water gets down into that jar. I'll take a little out. And I want to make sure that I have plenty of water in there. Now, if you notice, I'm not seasoning it. You can season it with whatever you want. Just make sure if you use a spice mix, it has no flour in it. Garlic, onions, whatever you'd like to use. I'm just going to season it when I open a jar. Yep, too much in there. I'm just going to season it when I open a jar. But you got to make sure you have that 1-inch headspace. Yep. Alright, I got 17 more jars to do, and I'll bring you back. Ended up with 19 beautiful pint jars. Almost used that whole bowl of poke salad up. So it is time to get these beautiful babies out to the canner, and I will bring y'all back when I am ready. Finally, it's canning time. I have the required amount of water in the bottom of my pressure canner. And yes, this has to be pressure canned because it's a low acid food, unless you want to boil it for about 3 hours. And you can do a water bath if you want to boil it for about 3 hours. Yes. Now I'll get back with you on how long time for quarts are. I'm doing pints, but for now, I've got my water in there. I've got 9 jars on the bottom. I've got a separator plate, and it being All American 921, I don't have to use, thank gracious, a gasket. but I do have to oil around the, the rim of the canner, and that's so the lid does not stick to the bottom part of the pressure canner. And I'd much rather use the oil than I would have to worry about rubber gaskets. And I always use olive oil. If I don't have it, I do use corn oil. So on the top level, my pressure canner holds 19 pints. I have 9 on the bottom, gonna be 10 on the top. I am cold. I did cold pack the poke salad, so water is room temperature, everything's room temperature. All rings on my jars are finger tight. You don't want to over tighten them. And try to make sure that the jars are not touching the sides. Okay. And we'll go opposite sides until just snug. Then you go back and tighten them down. Now I gotta change out my propane tank, and I'm gonna cut my flame on about medium high, and I'm gonna do it medium. I'm gonna bring it up slowly. So, and always double check before you put your lid on that your vent pipe is not that it's completely open. Make sure that there's nothing blocking your vent pipe. All right, I'll bring you back once this comes up to pressure or up to vent. See you here after a while. Okay, have a steady stream of steam, and I'm going to let this vent for 10 minutes, and I'll bring y'all back when the 10 minutes is up. It has vented for 10 minutes. Now I'm going to put my 10 pounds of weight on, and I'm going to wait till I'll bring you back once it comes up to a steady 11 pounds of pressure. I'll bring you back here in a bit. It is a steady 11 pounds of pressure, 70 minutes for pint, and along the bottom here I'll put for quarts. But I'll see you back here in 70 minutes. Alright, it's been 70 minutes. I'm going to cut the flame off. Don't touch nothing. Leave it alone and let it come down to zero pressure and let it sit for about 10 minutes longer. Woohoo! Poke salad. It's done. It is time to get the jars out of the pressure canner. Now I have to admit I got busy. What's new? And they have been in here for a while, so they should be fairly cooled down, but still take care. Alright. There we go. Even though they've been sitting here a while, I'm still going to open it away from me. Oh, look at that, look at that. Beautiful jars of poke salad, y'all. Alright, I'm going to get these babies unloaded and in the house, and I'll bring you back. Okay, poke salad palooza is finalized. I have 19 beautiful pint jars of canned poke salad. All lids have sealed. And over here is a beautiful thing. A dozen bags with some of them have a little healthier 2 cups than others. But what I do, and see these are going to the freezer. What I do is I flatten any greens, ground meat, so on. I will press it down, and that way you can stack them in your freezer. Takes up less room. But yeah, look at that. Poke salad, 2 cups. So that is 24. Well, it's more than 24 cups of poke salad. Because like I said, I could have probably got 4, maybe 5 more bags if I wouldn't got a little healthy with the spoonage. But 12 bags of completely cooked poke salad ready to use for quiche. Yes, poke salad quiche. Um, Poke salad dip. Scrambled eggs for poke salad. You can put it in soup. You can mix it in your beans. A lot of things you can do with poke salad. A lot of things. And these are be for winter usage. And I will have spring tonic all year round. I am happy as can be. Either the ancestors are smiling down on me, or they're like going, Lord, that girl done lost her mind. But that was one amazing haul of poke salad, pokeweed, depends on how you pronounce it from what area you're from. Other than that, I am happy. I am done. I can now go on to several other videos because I couldn't do anything till this was done. That was a lot of poke salad, y'all. And of course, like any green, they cook down a lot. And these were chopped. That's not chopped. That's still whole leaf. But that can be chopped when I get ready to use it, or not chopped. It all depends on my mood and what I'm cooking. I hope you've enjoyed this video and it encourages you to go out there and forage and get the wonderful wild food that's so good for us. The foods our ancestors ate and survived on. They knew this was spring tonic. This is what helped flush out the poisons in our system from being cooped up and everything in the winter. I hope this encourages you to do your own poke salad. Like I said, you can freeze it, bag it up, freeze it. You need to cook it now. Bag it up, freeze it, or can it, or both. Simple, easy, homemade, all natural, wild, harvested, and happy as can be. Everyone, take care. Continue to stock up your pantry with foods that will nourish and sustain you, medicinals that will heal you, protection of all kinds, and above all else, the bare essentials to survive on. Everyone stay safe and sound with these storms running around. They ain't done with us yet. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and may you each be blessed. Hoot, hoot. Mwah. Love y'all. See you soon.